Hi guys, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating the app called Mole Mash. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to go to the MIT App Inventor website. Once you're on this website right here, you should have this orange button. You're going to go ahead and click on that because that's where we're going to create the app. After you click on that button, all of your different projects should pop up, or it might even be a project that you've worked on previously. So you click on projects and you click on my projects, and then your list should appear like mine. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to create a new project. So I'm going to click this button right here that says start new project. And I need to go ahead and give this project a name. This project is called Mole Mash. Remember, you cannot have any spaces. If you try to put a space, it says project names cannot contain spaces. Perfect. I will delete that space, and now I will go ahead and I'll press OK, and my new project will appear right here. I'm going to press continue. So this is a game that we're going to be creating where you're trying to hit this mole. You're mashing the mole. So what you're going to go ahead and do is the first thing that you need to do is you need to get the directions up for mole mash. Okay. So if I'm back on this website, I'm going to scroll down all the way to the bottom where it says mole mash, it says link to tutorial. I click on the tutorial and it says right here in the directions, download this picture of a mole and save it on your computer. I click on this and the mole will appear. So I go ahead and I'm going to right click and it says save image as. I'm going to go ahead and save. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the backspace because I want to get back to the directions. Go ahead and get back to your interface screen. And what you're going to do is the first thing that you need to go ahead and add is a canvas. So I have to go over here and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go to this button that says drawing and animation. I click on it and here's that tool that's a canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and click, drag the canvas over, and it will pop up right there. The next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and I need to rename the canvas right here. Right here it says Canvas 1. I don't want it to be called Canvas 1. I'm going to delete this and then I'm going to change it to My Canvas. Remember, no spaces. I'm going to go ahead and press OK. The next thing I need to go ahead and do is I need to change the height and the width to 300 pixels. So I click on height and I choose pixels and I'm going to type in 300. Press OK. Then I also need to change the width. I'm going to also pick 300 pixels. So I type in 300 and I press OK. The next thing that I need to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to this side and I need to add a label. A label can be found under the user interface and it's right here. I'm going to click and drag out this label and drop it onto my phone. Uh-oh, I made a mistake. My label needs to go under my canvas. So I need to go ahead and right here, I need to drag it and make sure it's underneath the canvas. Okay, now this is correct. Right here, I need to change the name of the label. So I click on label right here under components and I click rename. And I don't want it to say label 1. I want it to say score label. Remember, no spaces. The next thing that I need to go ahead and do is I need to change the text. So I'm still on score label, but now I'm over here and I'm going to scroll down to this part that says text for label 1. I'm going to delete all of this and I'm going to type in score just like that. This will, once I have the game, it will update the score of the game. Okay. The next thing you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to add a button. A button can be found under user interface right here. I'm going to go ahead and click, and I'm going to put the button underneath the label. So yours should look like this. The button should be at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename this button. I don't want it to say button 1. I want it to say reset button. Remember, no spaces. Press OK. And now it's renamed. I'm going to go ahead, and now what I need to do is I need to change the text. So I've clicked on reset button, and I'm going to scroll down where it says text. I want to change it because I want the text to say reset. This will be the reset button in the game. Now you can see everything is updated here on the phone. Now what I need to do is I need to go over here under the palette, and I'm going to scroll down until I get to media. I'm going to click on media, and all these different things pop up. I need a sound button. So I'm going to click on sound, and I'm going to drop it on the phone. It's okay if you don't see it because it's right at the bottom here. I'm not going to change anything with the sound just yet. I will do that later on because it's actually going to make the phone vibrate. The next thing I need to do is I need to go down to this. I'm going to go back to the palette. I'm going to go down to sensors, and here's clock. I need a clock for this game. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag and drop a clock. And look, here it drops at the bottom. I need to go ahead and I need to change. So I click on clock over here, and I need to change the timer interval. It should say 500. So go ahead and make sure it says 500. I also need to go back and I need to change the name of sound 1. So go ahead and click on sound 1, and then I'm going to rename it to noise. I press OK. All right, we're going to go ahead and we are going to move on to the next step. Go over here to the palette one more time, and you're going to click on drawing and animation. You're going to go ahead and grab an image sprite, and you're going to drag this image sprite over to your phone. Sorry for the phone ringing. Now that I have an image sprite, I need to go ahead and I'm going to add the picture of the mole. So I'm going to go over here, make sure I have clicked on image sprite. It should show up under my canvas. And then you're going to go ahead where it says picture. You're going to go to upload file. I'm going to go ahead and click choose file. And I need to find that mole picture. Once I find the mole picture, I'm going to go ahead and open. And I'm going to press OK. Your mole should pop up on your phone. The next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and we're going to change the interval. We're still on image sprite, so make sure that you have image sprite clicked. For interval, you're going to go ahead and you're going to change it to 500. The next thing that you're going to do is the heading should be at 0, which it is, so that's correct. And the speed should be 0.0. Everything else looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to move on to the next step. The next step is we are actually going to go ahead and we are going to move on to our blocks. So I need to go to the top. These are all of the components that you should have, and you should have them correctly labeled. Go ahead and click on blocks here in the top right-hand corner. And now we're going to build the blocks for this app. The first thing that you need to do is you need to click on procedures, which is this purple button right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull out this block that says to procedure do. And then I'm going to delete where it says procedure and I'm going to type in move mole. The next thing that I need to do, I made a mistake. I need to go ahead and I need to go back to the designer. I need to click on image sprite right here where it says image sprite, and I need to rename it. It needs to say mole, M-O-L-E, and I press OK. Now I know that this image sprite is really the picture of the mole. Now I'm in good shape. So I'm going to go back to the blocks and I'm going to continue building. I'm going to click on mole right here and I need to scroll down to where it says set mole X. Set mole X to. This is the correct one. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out and I'm going to pop it in here. The next thing I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click on this green and I'm going to press duplicate. This makes a copy of the same block and I'm going to set it in here. The next thing I need to do is I need to change this X to the Y. So I click on Y and now I have set mole X to and set mole Y to. The next thing that I need to go ahead and do is I need to click on the math drawer. Once I click on the math drawer, I need to find the multiplication block, which is right here. So I'm going to pull this out. Again, I need to duplicate this. So I'm going to right click this and I'm going to press duplicate. I'm going to plug it in here and plug it in here. The next thing that I need to do is I need to go back to the math drawer and I need a subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract. Again, I need 2, so I need to duplicate it. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to put these subtraction pieces right here. All right. Go back to the math drawer. Scroll down until you find this block that says random fraction. Again, I need 2, so I'm going to right click it and I press duplicate. These 2 are going to go in this first empty space. The next thing that I need to go ahead and do is I need to click on My Canvas. Right over here it says My Canvas. So click on My Canvas. And I'm going to scroll down until I get to the green blocks. And I need to find the one that says My Canvas Width. Here it is. Oh, but that's not the correct one. I actually want this one, My Canvas Width. I'm not going to plug anything in, so it has to be this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this My Canvas Width right here. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to plug it into this one. Except for the only thing that I need to do is I need to click on this arrow next to width. And I need to go ahead and I need to change it to height. So I go ahead and do that. The next thing I need to do is I need to go back to mole over here. Click on mole. And I need to see where it says mole width. Oh, there it is right here. Mole width. This is the correct one. So I'm going to pull this one out.